Hi there, welcome back to another Dogecoin video. Today, Dogecoin is sitting pretty flat. If anything, it has moved slightly to the red. But actually, we have some good news, both long and short term, around Elon Musk and what could potentially happen from Elon Musk with Dogecoin going forwards. And honestly, Elon is a very famous guy, he's a very rich guy, and he does have the potential to bring the price of this currency up. Some people are saying as high as $1. Elon has kind of commented on this in the past. We're going to be going over what he has said previously and what could happen going forwards into the future, because recently, and of course even in the past few months, a lot of news has come out about Elon, especially talking about this coin. So we're going to be talking about all of that and more in this video. Do make sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Guys, we do Dogecoin updates every single day. We look at how the price has been moving, and of course we focus on any brand new news that does come out, so please do make sure to smash that subscribe button. But yeah, now that I've mentioned that, let us jump into this video, first looking at how Dogecoin has been moving, then moving on to the very interesting news. So basically in the past 5 days, Dogecoin is actually slightly negative, it does appear. On Sunday we saw a big increase, in fact that actually came from the previous Saturday as well, where Elon Musk once again hyping up Dogecoin. The most recent catalyst for this one is Elon Musk on the weekend talking about how he wants Coinbase to accept Dogecoin. We've spoken about the effect it would have if Coinbase accepts Dogecoin in the past. I think we may be talking about this one again in another episode, because I think it is important to stress the magnitude of impact this could potentially have. Guys, if Elon Musk was to get Coinbase to accept Dogecoin, it would have an absolutely fundamentally huge effect. Let's think about this one, right? Coinbase is used by a lot of people. It's one of the most widely used crypto platforms, and of course at the moment they don't accept Doge. Now if they were to accept Doge, it would give a lot more people access to the currency, a lot of people who do want to buy it, a lot of people who may not have previously heard about it. And of course, subsequently, it would introduce a currency to a whole new audience, and I think that could have a massive impact on the coin price. So again, in the next few months, that is potentially a catalyst to look towards. Once more, we will be talking about this in another episode, hopefully tomorrow, or at some point in the weekend. So we're going to go into a bit more depth in that one, but I just thought I would once again remind you of that news. Right, so second piece of news which I do want to bring your attention to is of course this tweet from just a few months ago. This tweet is coming from February, we can see the 20th. Basically this person here, and I think they're called Prenay Patel, I think that is pronounced. I'm sorry if I got that wrong, but there we go. Basically, this individual is saying that they want to take Doge to $1. Interesting enough, that's fair enough, but what is kind of interesting is look who has replied. Elon Musk has replied. Obviously, it's a verified Elon Musk, 49 million followers, and he is saying, should we? Now again, this is not the most recent news, but I think this is important. Elon Musk is the person with the power to do this. If anyone can, Elon can. He can do this in two ways. I'm going to talk about these in just a moment. So the first way that I believe that Elon can potentially hype Doge all the way to $1 is of course by buying this currency. Let's face it guys, Elon Musk is a billionaire. I do believe his net worth is over $100 billion, which is an insane amount of money. That's a very, 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 very vast amount of money. And of course, it would never hurt Elon to buy a couple million, perhaps even a couple billion worth of Dogecoin. And of course, Elon is getting richer as time goes on with his ventures into SpaceX, with his ventures into Tesla, obviously, and other projects which he's working on. And people are speculating that Elon may become the world's first trillionaire. I believe that is true. Of course, if Elon becomes rich, trillionaire, obviously he is already rich, but if he was to become a trillionaire, or perhaps gain 500 billion, it would have a large effect on what he could do around the world with Dogecoin. It wouldn't even hurt Elon Musk at that point to pour 10 billion, 20 billion, 100 billion even into this currency just for a laugh, because he would be an absolutely rich person, and we can see how this would be easy for him to do. So of course that is the first way which Elon could obviously do this, just buy the currency outright because he can definitely afford it. The second way is of course the hype Elon Musk has around himself. So obviously Elon Musk on Twitter right now has about 49.2 million followers, so roughly 50 million people follow Elon. Now if Elon Musk was to do another tweet perhaps talking about Dogecoin, actually suggesting that people should buy the currency, I think that could also have a huge impact on the currency as well, and that hype from his fans and followers and whatnot could also send the currency price flying. And then of course there is a third method in which he does both, of course, buying some currency for himself, quite a large amount, and also persuading his audience to buy it as well. So that is 3 ways in which Elon could potentially hype up this currency price to $1. But of course, Elon is definitely on the side of this currency anyway, putting pressure on Coinbase to basically accept this one, hopefully in the future, and of course saying that he wants to see it hit $1. And again, Tesla, Elon Musk's company, has seen a large increase in share price, and it just goes to show, guys, it's not impossible that this one could potentially make it to $1 with the backing of one of the richest people in the world. So a lot of potential is on the table right now for Dogecoin. I can see this one having a big future, especially with Elon behind it, and if it was to get to $1, in theory, it would of course make a lot of people rich. Now again, I am not even going to say that it's going to get to $1 for sure. If you are buying this one, betting on it getting to $1, I would say that is risky. Again, it could happen in the next few years, especially with Elon's backing, but I would not expect this one to happen overnight. And of course, it may never even get to $1. But I think it is important to note that Elon, one of the richest people and a very influential person on this earth, is of course talk about this currency constantly, and only just a few months ago he was potentially talking about this one getting all the way up to $1. So very strong backing from Elon Musk. He could be sending this one through the sky, and once again in tomorrow's episode or at some point in the near future, we'll be talking about Elon's latest catalyst in a bit more depth, how he wants this one to become prevalent on Coinbase and the large impact that could have. So recently, again, looking at the share price, or at least the coin price of this currency, we can see this big sell-off from the highs around this 8-cent range, coming down to lows down here we initially touched as low as the mid 4-cent range, and since this mid 4-cent range we have picked ourselves back up by a small amount. Don't get me wrong, it is quite significant, but it's not the largest that we have seen in relation to previous days, and today we are seeing quite a lot of negative action. The candlestick for today is in the red, and again a low wick is coming down to the downside and a very small wick to the upside. And ultimately, this shows more selling pressure than buying pressure potentially, as the lows of the day were more consistent and more prevalent than the highs of the day. So that is important to note in my eyes, but not necessarily a bad thing. Guys, if you're all looking to buy Dogecoin, we all know it is risky anyway. I think now is not the worst time to buy. Again, we have a very important and influential person back in this currency, and for that reason alone, I can see this one having a very bright future. But that is just my opinions. I thought I would just bring you another quick update video on Dogecoin today. Ultimately, I am happy that we are quite flat today. I think it is good. Again, looking on the charts here, we can see at UK time 1:30, we saw this big dip, and that is where we saw the lows of the day, and that is kind of important to note. Now in the more recent hours we have picked ourselves up by a small amount, but again just not enough so far to bring us into the green for today. So right now the past week is looking kind of important for Doge. I think we are now at a much better price than we were on the weekend. Of course, with the last bit of Elon Musk's hype of this one being added to Coinbase potentially, kind of selling out of the coin, I think people will be taking big profits from that point. Again, if you'd have bought this one at the lows of the month on the 23rd, you would have been up by a rather large amount if you'd have sold out at the highs. But again, ultimately, the thing to note is Dogecoin, it saw this big increase in hype up to the 8-cent range, roughly, and then we saw a big sell-off. But you know what, since that sell-off, yes, we did sit flat for some time, but ultimately, we are actually still going up. I think we are going to see some slow and consistent growth, but with Elon Musk hyping this one up constantly, we just don't know when the next catalyst is going to be. All it takes is a tweet to go from that man's phone, or laptop, or tablet, and of course, that could be the catalyst that we need to send this currency price rocketing. So who knows what is going to happen with Dogecoin? Obviously very volatile, and a lot is on the table right now. So I am pretty optimistic with this one, but do remember it is very risky, and that is important to note as well. But again, if you are buying a small amount, if you're only buying as much as you can afford to lose, I don't think it is too bad. Because again, if you're buying a small amount that you can afford to lose, let's say $100 worth, obviously losses are locked in. If you buy $100 worth, the maximum that you are going to lose is $100 worth. So of course it's not too bad in that aspect, but of course don't go over your spending limit, don't put in more than you're willing to lose, and in that case I think you'll be fine. So again, that's just my opinions. Thank you for watching. I will see you again soon. Goodbye until then, and once more we will be looking at Dogecoin very soon into the future. Goodbye, I will see you in that episode. Have a wonderful evening.